everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Candid Kaya. Today, I am here with Wharton MBA graduate and budding entrepreneur Shantae, and she is going to tell us more about her personal business, Nayko Naturals, along with how you can grow your own business. Stay tuned. Shantae, thank you so much for coming on today's episode. Can you just tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Shantae. I'm originally from Baltimore, but I've been in the Philly area for about the past 12 years. I went to Drexel University for undergrad, and I went to Wharton at the University of Pennsylvania for my MBA. I studied strategic management and entrepreneurship and innovation at Wharton, and I'm now the founder of Nayko Naturals.
So, yes, we are here to talk more about Nayko Naturals. So, just tell us a little bit about what exactly is Nayko Naturals and what do you hope to accomplish with it?
Yeah. So with Nayko Naturals, we create all natural skincare products, the preservative free skincare that really gets back to the basics. And so all of our products are made of raw and organic ingredients. And what's really special about us is that each one of our ingredients really serves a purpose. And so we don't use any fillers, any color enhancers, etc. We really make sure that each ingredient really is targeting a specific need for our customers. And our product range currently it ranges from body butters, face serums, we have lip balms, and we have a new product that we're coming out with right before
And
Black Friday. So follow us on Instagram.
at Nayko Naturals. Okay, let's
Yes.
see. So, also, Shantae, just tell us a little bit about that idea. You don't have to tell us all the details to it, but just tell us how did it formulate? When did you start really feeling the passion to pursue this?
Yeah, so interesting enough, I've always made body butters. I would say for the past maybe 8 years or so. And it kind of just started off with me making them and using them for myself, and then I would gift them to friends and family members, and I would always try to get feedback, like, "Oh, did you like that?" And the feedback was always really, really good. And so I was like, I might be onto something here. And then during business school is where I really like buckled down and really built the business. And so during those 2 years, I spent a lot of time doing research, testing and iterating, getting more feedback, and then also applying to different competitions and things.
So, as a skincare company, just tell us how did you really come up with the ingredients? I know you were mentioning some of that before, and start to get the packaging done, start to get the full overall look. How did you really come up with the brand entirely?
Research. So I did so much research. I also tapped into the Wharton Network. So Justin, who's one of the co-founders of Ronnie Skincare, I tapped into him as much as possible because they've kind of blown up and they're pretty successful. I also, as I was building out my brand, I also consulted a few undergrads at Penn. They're super smart. And so I really tapped into the School of Dermatology, also scientists, science majors. I really wanted to get the product development down and then make sure that, this product that I'm creating, that I'm getting feedback from customers they love, is it really, efficient and effective in what I'm striving for it to do. And so I was able to run my ideas past them, made changes as necessary. And yeah, I think it kind of went from there. Where I really seen the biggest return on my investment was really from getting the product out there. And so outside of friends and family, even just strangers, my classmates, etc., asking them to try it and if they would buy it, kind of getting all of that survey data down was really helpful for me.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. You weren't discouraged. You wanted the feedback, and you really wanted to make something that was going to be useful to your target customer.
Yeah.
So that's really good to hear how you thought about that. Just tell us a little bit about once you came up with the idea, once you got the great feedback, what did you start doing next?
Yeah. So once I got all the feedback, I really started to, the packaging, as you mentioned, like the branding. I really wanted to make sure I had down, the essence of the brand. And for me, that meant like, where do I see people using my product? Okay, daily, because it's a body butter, is our signature product. And so, kind of focused around self care outside of, the all natural, healthy ingredients part, really self care, right? So, and a product that you can use and you feel safe using on your entire family was something that was really important to me. And it resonates even more today, especially during the pandemic that we're living in. People want all natural products, they want things that they know are going to be healthy and safe for their entire family. And so I really kind of pulled on those insights to build them into the branding and marketing, all of those things for the business.
Okay. All right, so now you've got a lot of momentum going with Nayko Naturals. Just tell us, what steps are you proactively taking to keep your business going?
Yes. So recently I was granted to be part of the Tech for Black Founders cohort. It's an organization that, reaches out to Black entrepreneurs, and they allow them access to several tools and, different technologies that really are helpful for growing your business, especially on the marketing end. And so right now, where I'm at with that is I'm working very closely with the team to kind of build out a marketing plan. So far, pretty much all of the marketing that has been done to date, besides a few advertisements here and there, has been organic marketing, and so word of mouth, and that's been powerful for me. But however, I know that there comes a time when I need to make the investment, and so I'm really looking forward to utilizing these tools to kind of begin my marketing journey. And as I mentioned, the insights are so important. Some of the things that we're doing is like customer segmentation. So just utilizing the data that I'm pulling from my website, from my social media feed, to be able to segment my customers so that I can properly target them, when I'm doing my marketing campaigns. And so those are some of the things that I'm doing to grow the business right now. Aside from that, just of course, like doing consistently doing product research. So figuring out, getting a pulse from my customers of, what do they want out there?
Okay. All right. So you mentioned something very interesting. You're talking about how you have these resources that are helping you with marketing and helping to grow the business, because right now it's been organic growth. So let's just really talk to the people about, what do you need from a plan perspective in order to even be able to qualify for cohorts such as that?
Yeah, so I would say some of the things that are table stakes, is to really know what your value proposition is. So know who you are targeting, right? Who's your core customer? Who, what your value proposition is, what your product is, what problem you're solving,
Mhm.
your market size. So that's a key one, especially when it comes to pitching to venture capitalists. They really want to know, what's in it for them, right? So what's your market size, and what percent of that market are you going to capture? Aside from those things, which are really table stakes, I really think that having belief in your business goes a long way. Because when you believe in yourself and your business, I think that that comes across, and the confidence that comes with that is invaluable. And then on top of that, just being scrappy, So, you may not, have all the money that you want in order to build the business, but tap into your resources, tap into, your network and people that who may be able to help you with the business. The worst thing that they can say is no.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right, Shantae. So let's talk about funding, which is an area you've hinted on, and I know that a lot of entrepreneurs personally struggle with. How have you found funding for your business?
Yes. So as I mentioned, the worst that anyone can say is no. And so I
Right.
definitely shoot my shot. I apply to almost everything that I see that you know, that I fit the requirements for. And so getting on as many listservs as you can, organizations that, if you're a woman, organizations that support women, if you're a person of color, organizations that support people of color, if you're black, especially now, there's a lot of movement around supporting black entrepreneurs. So, Googling different things, tapping into different networks and communities, utilizing everything that you have in front of you that you already use on a daily basis, such as Google, social media, etc. Hashtagging things to try to find out about competitions that you can apply for. Apply for it all. The worst that they can say is no, and you'll always get something out of it as far as like answering the questions and learning more about your business and brand recognition. You never know who might read that application on the other end of the table.
So one thing you mentioned were competitions, and I know you recently won a first place in a pitch competition. So congratulations, A. And B, can you just tell everyone, well, how did you prepare for that competition, and what do you think you did that helped you to win?
Yes. So as I mentioned before, I really worked on the business a lot during business school. And so I had a lot of time to put together my pitch deck as well as kind of tap into other people to take a look at it, give me feedback, make changes. So I would say those are all things that people can do. Put together your pitch deck, do the research. You can't just create things, right? So you have to really do the research to come up with the proper market sizing and have a rationale for kind of where those numbers are coming from. And so, spend time doing those things in advance of the competition that you're applying for so that, you can spend adequate time on really building those things out. I think that that's really important. It might be overlooked by some because, decks and the way that they look, I think that they can really tell a story if they're done the right way. And so I think that that's something that people, should put a lot of time
Yeah,
into.
just tell us, for those who don't know, just give us a brief explanation of what a pitch deck is.
Yeah, so a pitch deck is essentially a PowerPoint deck that you'll put together. And the real cause of it, sorry, can I start that over? Okay, so a pitch deck is essentially a PowerPoint presentation that you will put together to present to investors. And so, if an investor that you'd like to approach is a venture capitalist, for example, who's going to give you a large influx of money for a percentage stake in the business, then there are certain things that you will want to make sure that you hit on in that pitch deck, such as, what the business is, what the problem you're solving, who you are, kind of what your background is, and why you're the right person, for the business. As I mentioned, market size, that's really important, your target customer, and then what you're asking for. And so you always want to kind of have an ask at the end and, really point out what that money will be used for as
All right, Shantae, now I want to ask you for just a little bit of your advice. And we're going to start with, what resources would you recommend to inspiring entrepreneurs in order to help them get their businesses going?
Yeah, so I would definitely say having a brand presence is really important, right? If you want people to buy in, they got to know how to find you, where to find you, etc. So grab those social media handles ASAP because they are very scarce. So, you want to be consistent across different platforms. And so once you come up with a name, definitely grab those, and then your website domain, right? So make sure that that matches your social media and that it's consistent and that people are able to follow your brand, right? And I would say for other e-commerce brands, start to think about, do you want to be on Squarespace, Shopify, different marketing tools that you can use, such as Later or Planoly, to kind of plan out your social media. Um, yeah.
All right, perfect. What advice do you have for those who are struggling to receive support for their business?
Mm, I would definitely say go back to your day ones, right? So you have friends, family, boyfriend, wife, etc., that will support you regardless. So tap into them, right? Get their honest feedback. Ask them to support you in your business, to purchase, to subscribe, sign up, etc. And you'll be surprised. I think, like for me, every time I see, a stranger purchase one of my products, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just filled with joy. But I think that family members, they are, and friends, they're going to be your people who are going to support you regardless. So definitely make sure you're utilizing them. And again, they have their own subject matter expertise in some area, right? So tap into those people.
All right. And then my last advice question is just going to be, what advice do you have for those who have a business idea but they just lack motivation and keeping it going and actually pursuing it.
Yeah, so I would definitely say imposter syndrome is real. And so don't fall for it. So, you are capable, have confidence in yourself, write it down, write it on paper, write your idea down, come up with a plan on how you're going to execute it, and then follow through. Don't let anyone kind of talk you out of your idea. If you believe in it, then all you have to do is kind of run with it and be able to communicate it in a way so that others also believe in it.
Perfect. All right, Shantae, I lied. I do have one more question. And that is to finish my sentence. So I hope that Nayko Naturals will become
A multi-billion-dollar company that surpasses any dream that I can fathom.
period.
Yes.
That's the best answer to finish my sentences thus far. So kudos to you. All right, Shantae, we're closing out. Thank you all for watching. Tell everyone how they can keep up with Nayko Naturals.
Yes, so NaykoNaturals.com, on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere else at Nayko Naturals.
Perfect. Well, we'll make sure to include that information below. If you have any questions for Shantae or myself, please just leave them and we'll make sure that they get answered. Thank you all for watching and best of luck to you guys on all your entrepreneurial efforts. See you next time.